He is obviously invincible in this plane. The only land fairy, the one under the Grandmaster, is invincible. The one above the Grandmaster is replaced by one. But you just want to be a salted fish. If you can lie down, you will definitely not sit down. If you can sit down, you will definitely not stand, because you are too salty. As a result, God really can't stand it. So he sent down the heavenly golden list to the world. The golden list of heaven's way can take stock of everything in the world, and will arrange the past lives and announce them to the world. The lists are Peerless list, Divine Weapons list, Heavenly Lord list, Character list. Ranking on the gold list will bring blessings from heaven. And what was announced today? This is the jazz list of the top 10 most powerful creatures in Kyushu. The moment I heard the Heavenly Tao golden list appeared, the entire Kyushu continent, whether it is a dynasty or a temple, or is the martial arts world all shaken? But you are the only one who puts on an expression of despair. You won't expose me when this is over, right? To know the whole Kyushu, there are already very few people who can reach the level of Grandmaster. As for the land gods, you are the only one. And there seems to be a list of divine weapons and a list of heavenly kings. Looking at the lists one by one, if you are so thorough, you will reveal everything about my family. What will happen next? At this time, the maid Kigzayang on the side saw you like this. But he covered his mouth and smiled and said, "Don't worry, sir, with your ability, you will surely be on the gold list." He thought you were worried about the gold list. In this great kin, everyone thinks that the 9th Prince Wang's sledgehammer is useless. Just know how to have fun, but Kigzayang knew that her young master was extremely powerful. Deeply expressed salted fish appearance. Just to keep a low profile. Listening to Kigzayang's comforting words, you nodded dejectedly. If even the land gods cannot be on the gold list, even if it is, no one can reward it, but the problem is that you have exposed yourself. How else to play? Let's take a look step by step. You shook your head. I planned to go to the harem to relax my mood. But it didn't take long to walk along a magnificent road. The sound echoes between heaven and earth. Representative of the Imperial Sword Master on the jazz list, the first-class realm can please oneself and kill the master, as the voice of heaven falls. The silence of the early days of countless dynasties in the land of Kyushu. A first-class dancer can kill a master. This is too outrageous. And such terrifying strength is only ranked 10th. Could it be that the top 9 on the gold list are actually strong masters? Before he finished speaking, another voice of heaven sounded. The 9th Yuan Tiangang Realm Grandmaster on the jazz list. He once exploded a meteorite from the sky with one person's power. Looking at the picture presented by the Tiando Golden List, the entire Juju continent was completely shocked almost instantly. The faces of countless people are mixed with disbelief. Number 8 on the Peerless list, Iron Courage God Huju Daching Realm Grandmaster. Alone, he possesses the indestructible bodies of the 3 great virus, and kill it. 7th on the Peerless list, Grandmaster of the Eastern Invincible Realm of the Sun and Moon God Sect. When the sun rises in the east, I am the only one who is undefeated. Number 6 on Jazz Chart, Zhang Sanfeng, founder of Wudang Sect, Great Master. As the rankings of one master after another are written in, countless people took a breath. It turns out that in Kyushu continent, there are so many powerful masters. Number 2 on Jazz list, Sword Demon Dugu Kyufei Realm Half-Step Immortal God. Never half of my life. One sword can tear apart the heaven and earth and shatter the stars. What kind of existence will be the one who ranks first? Just as everyone is eagerly waiting, the last ranking finally emerged. And accompanied by the vast sound echoing between heaven and earth. The vast world of Kyushu. The boundless earth dominates the ups and downs. The strongest creature from the first 9 weeks of the jazz list manifested today. But what makes people a little confused is that this time, the Tiando Golden List did not directly tell the story of life. There is only such a magnificent voice. Rock swing between heaven and earth. Suddenly everyone was stunned. What is going on? After all, in the past, the Tiando Golden List always stated the name directly. Now it's the turn of the number 1 player on the jazz charts to come out. Could it be an accident? This expert has become so powerful that he has escaped from the Golden List. Control it in everyone's mind. When countless thoughts flashed through my mind, the Tiando Golden List roared once again. Immediately afterwards, a dazzling golden light suddenly appeared. Covered the entire Kyushu in an instant. Even the picture of the Tiando Golden List is dyed gold. Then everyone saw the scene. A vague figure slowly emerged. At this time, within Da Qin, Ying Zheng frowned as he looked at the gold list. Why does this figure feel familiar? Although the current Tiando golden list, only a rough representation of the. But I don't know why. Ying Zheng always has a feeling of déjà vu in his heart. And you also came to Ying Zheng at this time. Looking at the picture on the Tiando golden list, he frowned slightly. It's really me. Although in the eyes of others this figure is extremely vague. No appearance at all. But how can you not recognize yourself? And even my own father thinks that. You glanced at the solemn-looking father not far away, then silently distanced himself from him. Maybe I have to find a way to escape. Otherwise stay here. I'm afraid that I will inevitably face the fate of being interrogated. However, your name was not listed on the gold list that day. It does surprise you. As time flows, the scene in the picture gradually becomes clearer. Just what the world imagines him to be. The time of the immortal and Taoist master. Unexpectedly, what happened next second? Just make everyone stand on the spot. Only in the screen, a young man is lying on the grass sleeping. And sleep from morning to night. Sleeping from night to morning again. Suddenly the word trash came to everyone's mind. This lazy feeling doesn't look like a strong person. This is outrageous. They have been waiting for this long-awaited #1 spot on the Peerless list. It actually looks like this. At this time, the Great Qin dynasty had forgotten about the heavenly Tao golden list. The old face turned red in the picture, although the face above is obscured by golden light. Can't recognize it's you, but you still want to find a crack in the ground and crawl in. Ying Zheng's face on the side was speechless. That salted fish look. Why is it so similar to my 9th Prince sledgehammer? Could it be that all the salted fish in Kyushu look the same? As for other things, Ying Zheng didn't dare to think too much. After all, the 9th Prince and the #1 on the Peerless list, the difference is really too big. There's absolutely no way to get in touch with each other. Ying Zheng sighed and was suddenly startled when he was about to speak. Just see the screen flow. The boy seemed to have had enough sleep and yawned leisurely. Then he took off his belt with both hands and took a few steps forward. At this time, everyone's eyes almost popped out of their heads. Could it be that this master wants Miss Yingfeng? Just when everyone is confused. The boy in the picture. He just pulled out a long sword without interest. The moment he picked up the sword. Looking at Dugu Qiabai's eyes on the gold list, his eyes completely changed. That was an unprecedented oppression. The next moment, the young man just drew his sword casually. Although it didn't cause any waves. But in Dugu Qiufei's eyes. But it was extremely shocking. Because he saw. The space around the boy was actually trembling. Just when everyone was expecting his next move. I saw the young man's right hand trembling and throwing the long sword. Then he landed steadily on the shelf beside him. Then fell asleep. Everyone in Kyushu was stunned when they saw the scene. That's gone. Just save him and wave it and that's it. But Ying Zheng looked extremely horrified at this moment. He recognized it. This young man is definitely his. The extremely lazy Sun Sledgehammer. His usual salty fish appearance. It made him gnash his teeth with hatred. I wonder why the picture of the gold list looks so familiar. You might even have the urge to go up and kick her. Suddenly the voice of heaven sounded again in the #1 song on the jazz list. Prince Qin Wang Dachui. Land Fairy. The strongest creature in Kyushu. I saw the picture on the Tiando golden list turn around. The young man who had been so lazy now stood in the sky. Shocking bolts of thunder struck at the young man. But it had no impact on him at all. And deep in the void, ancient mythical beasts vaguely emerged. But those mythical beasts, at this moment, it seemed as if I saw something terrifying. All hiding in the depths of the thunder, not daring to take a step forward. Everyone who sees this scene will understand. The source of their fear is the young man with the sword. At this time, the entire Juju continent fell into ghostly silence. A turbulent wave arose in people's hearts. His Highness the 9th Prince, who has always been criticized. It's so terrifying. And Ying Zheng looked at you, this salted fish. The heart is also extremely complicated. The other ministers in the court also looked at the person being. I got goosebumps all over my body when I saw it. Then he helplessly spread his hands. Isn't he just a land god? What a big deal. When he heard you speak, Ying Zheng felt like he was waking up from a dream. Is this really you? This is really hard for Ying Zheng to accept. Seeing your father's shocked expression, you felt helpless. Otherwise, even though you don't really want to hit your father, but it's come to this, you still have to accept what you should accept. Otherwise, the list of divine soldiers on the Jun list will be exposed later that day. So what should I do now? Just when everyone in the palace was deeply shocked, suddenly a voice echoed throughout Kyushu. Prince Wang Dachui of the Qing dynasty, do you dare to fight with me? A moment later a figure came out of the air. It is Dugu Chubai, the second sword demon on the jazz list. I saw you facing this sudden challenger. Just yawned casually. Don't care at all. Looking at this scene, the corners of Ying Zheng's mouth twitched slightly, wanting to scold him. But I still swallowed it hard. Can you feel this? The fighting spirit emanating from Dugu Chubai. Just a good time to stretch your muscles. You take a few steps toward the sky. Dugu Kia was defeated in the void. He didn't say a word. I saw four long swords floating in front of my chest. The next moment, four long swords condensed into a peerless sword. Once the thorn is released, it is the strongest blow. Look at that full blow. It's good that you just slowly uttered a sentence. Then you raised your hand and used your fingers as a sword to wave lightly. Just heard the sound of broken metal. That divine sword exploded into pieces. I lost in the sky. Dugu Chubai stared blankly at the fragments in front of him and whispered softly. Could he feel it deeply? The young man in front of me did not use his power. After a moment of silence, Dugu Chubai looks up at you and speaks. Can you tell me how much strength you used? Looking at the solemn face of Dugu Chubai, you have no choice but to speak. After hearing this, Dugu Chubai had already expected it. But I still couldn't help but smile and say thank you. But if I break my promise in the future, I will still have to fight you. After saying that, he flew away. At the same time, two figures appeared on the heavenly Dao Gold list. In that brief exchange, it also spread to the ears of everyone in Juju continent. When I heard your words, the whole of Kyushu fell into dead silence. It's just one city. It's really hard to open your eyes with a small knife. And just at this time, above the sky, a majestic voice echoed in everyone's ears. The Heavenly Army ranking is now announced, an army's combat power. Ranking of comprehensive strength such as potential performance, military strength, etc. The 10 major armies of Kyushu are called the Heavenly Army. Then the scene on the Tiando Golden List emerged. Luo Yi, the commander-in-chief of the 10th Heavenly Army ranking, Yanyan 18th, belongs to the Sui dynasty. This moment, almost all the emperors of the dynasty had a Zen in their hearts, silently watching the picture on the Tianjin list. The horses' hooves trampled the earth, and there was a faint light. It's 18 people, but it gives a force of thousands of troops. They alone are enough to rival an army. See this scene. Everyone's face showed a trace of shock. Immediately afterwards, Tiando Hongying sounded again. The 9th line camp on the Heavenly Army list. The princes of the dynasty to which Commander Gao Sheng belongs. Then an army manifested and roared in unison. The situation of being trapped in a battle is fatal, but not life-threatening. At this moment you glanced at the sky. A look of laziness appeared on his face. The 8th Yue family army on the Heavenly Army list. The 7th item on the Heavenly Army list, family army. The 6th Zuanjia army on the Heavenly Army list. The 5th largest Han cavalry on the Heavenly Army list. The dynasty to which the commander of the Blood Cavalry, Wang Dahami, number 4 on the Heavenly Army list belongs. My faint voice echoes in the sky. Everyone was stunned for a moment. At this moment in the King Palace, Ying Zheng looked at you leisurely and a little confused. You still act like you've got nothing to do with yourself. It's as if I didn't hear the sound of Tiando Jinbang at all. It's probably just the same name. Can't help but an idea passed through everyone's mind. After all, the 9th prince has reached the pinnacle of Kyushu. On the occasion of land gods, how is it possible that the army ranks 4th? This made Ying Zheng so curious that he couldn't help but ask. Only 4th. You frowned when you heard Ying Zheng's words. Couldn't help but shook his head and said, forget it, there are too few people in this blood chess game. At this point, I can hear your frustrations. Including Ying Zheng. Everyone's expressions are extremely weird. And judging from the ownership of this bloody chess piece, It is the private army belonging to the 9th prince. As soon as Mo Ran arrived, a somewhat unsociable voice suddenly came from Father Emperor. The emperor's brother violated the law of kin by recruiting Si Jun without authorization. Please ask father to punish them all.